Hi friends, my name is Megan and welcome to my 53rd Flosstube episode. If you're new here, welcome. This is a channel that's mostly about cross stitch. However, I do share my other hobbies here when I've worked on them. I just have stitching to share with you today. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and spending time with me. I appreciate all of you even more than you know. Today is Sunday. It is August the 25th, and it is a warm but pretty day here in Maryland. Last week we had a little bit of false fall weather, which got me feeling hopeful that this warm, hot, and muggy summer is almost out of here. I hope everybody has been doing well. We've been very busy here. I'm trying to think. Since the last time I filmed, we finished updating our kitchen. This was a project that took months to complete, but we painted and reorganized and put up new shelving, and I'm really, really happy with how that turned out. I actually have a couple of projects that I've been working on that I'm going to hang in the kitchen when they're done, so that was exciting to get those out and work on them. What else? I attended Midsummer Stitch, which was hosted by Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches and her amazing team. I'd never attended one of Stephanie's events before, and it was so much fun. I got to stitch with friends and meet some of my online stitchy friends like Krista, the Shenandoah Valley Stitcher. We got to stitch together, and that was great. That was so much fun. And I got to meet some new people, and it was really wonderful. At those events, it takes me a while to come out of my shell, as in most situations. But once I kind of got talking and got a little more comfortable, it was a lot of fun. I do think that I will probably get tickets to the Jingle Ball after doing that, so that was great. What else has been going on? Oh, my stitching group and I went on our field trip up to Pennsylvania, and we went to In Stitches, which is in Lancaster. Nope. Stitches Unlimited, which is in Lancaster. In Stitches in Alexandria, Virginia. And Hodgepodge in Strasburg. And I've got some fun stuff to share from that. What else? I actually just got back from my stitch group. We met at our, FedEx went by, and I think by now we all know how Cora feels about anybody or anything going by our house. Anyways, as I was saying, I just got back from my monthly stitch group, and that was a ton of fun. We are meeting in our new location now. Actually, last month was the first time that they met there, but I wasn't able to go. So this was my first time going, and it's a lovely little quilt shop, and not very little actually. The space she had set up for us was huge, and the lighting is great, and there was so much room for activities, and it was wonderful. So, meeting with those women always help soothe my soul a little bit, and I'm very grateful for all of them. I think Suzanne said that it was 2.5 years now we've been meeting together, so I feel very fortunate to have all of them in my life. Anyways, what else is going on? Not much. I switched back to my regular work schedule. During the summer we work 4 10-hour days, and now we're back to 5 days a week, which means that we are gearing up for the beginning of the school year. I work for our local school system, and the start of the year is a lot. Pretty stressful, but I'm sure it'll be great. So, yep, I think that's just about everything that's been going on with me, which feels like a lot. But Aaron's good. He's upstairs with Miss Coraline, and Mittens is good. Tarzan is around here somewhere. He's been very, he's coming more and more out of his shell. And last night while I was getting all of my stuff here set up, he was trying to be the best helper, which was a little stressful. He also, something I don't think I've shared this on here before, he also likes to jump on the top of doors, like open doors, like on the top. If I can, I'll put a picture in somewhere of him being naughty on top of a door. So that's been different, but he's very sweet. And our old cat Dingus, she's still out there kicking too. She's probably sleeping on the porch right now. So, all right, let's get into it. I have a lot to share with you today. I have worked on more projects than I expected to. Like, once I work on something, I put it in the box that I keep all my Flosstube stuff in, and then for me, out of sight, out of mind. So sometimes I'm surprised by all the things that I pull out of there. And today was one of those times. So I have fully finished objects, FFOs. I've got one here with me and one that has already gone elsewhere, but I do have a picture of it. I have new starts. I've got works in progress. I think I've got some finishes in here. I've got all kinds of good stuff. Obviously, I went shopping with my stitch group, and then some other things have come in the mail. If you were to ask me if I've been doing a lot of cross stitch shopping, I would say no, I'm not really buying much right now. However, that pile over there is saying otherwise, so I don't know. It's fine. All right, so I think we should probably just get into it. The first thing I'm going to share with you is my fully finished item for Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe's birthday. She had a sal. It was the Hello 40 birthday sal. And she asked that people stitch a project from Hello from Liz Matthews. And I knew exactly which one I wanted to start for that. I don't have a copy of the cover page here, but this is what it looks like. It's called Poppy. And there are two colorways that you can do. And I had ordered from Hillside Rookery, Olivia, the MPI kit for that. So I'm just like this. And she just gave you the colors that you needed and the amounts that you needed. So this might stitch it again. Here's her cute little bag. So in my description box, I always have a section called Let's Go Shopping, and any store that I mention, Etsy shop, whatever, is all listed down there. Olivia's shop, even if I don't mention it, is always listed there for easy access. So this project only took a couple of days to stitch, and for those few days it lived in this little mousy bag that I made, this little tiny bag, and I stitched it on a piece of 40 count mystery linen from my stash, and here's my finish. I'm really happy with how this turned out. This frame was one of the frames that I thrifted when I was in New York. I'm still working on lighting. And this was actually gold, and had Erin spray painted cream for me, and I just love how sweet this is. Isn't that cute? I love how that turned out. And so thank you, Stephanie, for the inspiration to pull this out and get it stitched up finally. I just love it, and happy birthday again, belated. The other project that I FFO'd was for my son's girlfriend. It was Pink Pony Club by Stitch Sprout. If you'll remember, I stitched it 2 times, one for me and one for her. I did not finish mine because of some linen constraints. Mine will have to be finished a little bit differently than hers, but here's a picture of the finish of that. I made it just like a little hanging ornament type thing for her. She moved into her college dorm yesterday, so I wanted to make sure that she had it before she went there, and I got her another little knick-knack for her room. So we're super happy for her. She like I said, may be chaotic. Anyways, she moved in. We're very happy for her. She's only about a half an hour away from us, so that's great. Yep. So those were my 2 fully finished objects. All right, and now let's get into what I worked on. The first one is actually a finish. I was surprised when I pulled this out of my Flosstube basket, because in my mind I finished this before, but I guess I didn't. This is Snails and Leaves by Stitchy Princess on Etsy. This is not a beautiful some water spilled on it. Anyways, looks like this. I kept it in this little bag here by Amanda May of Art Designs. Used all the called for DMC. I stitched it on a piece of, I think this is 36 count. This is a look, a little ornament cut from my LNS, so I'm not sure what it is. And here's my little finish. It's definitely looking pretty washed out on the camera. It shows up much better. in real life. But this is sweet, and the colors in this, like the oranges, let's see if it'll focus. The oranges and the yellows match what's going on in my kitchen, so this will probably end up in there. That was sweet. The next project I have here is a new start slash finish slash ongoing whip. I'm gonna have to put in a cover picture here. This is an ornament that I got from Etsy, and I don't remember what it is called off the top of my head, so I will put that information right here. I think it was by Florine Studio, but if that is wrong, I will also put that information here, and I will also make sure that the shop is linked below. So every year I stitch ornaments for my coworkers, and this is the ornament that I chose for this year. I'm keeping it in this cute little bag, and I'm stitching it just with flosses from my stash, some pretty colors, and I'm adding a little bit of red Krynic to it as well. I'm stitching it on a piece of 36 count summer khaki, and I've completed one of the ornaments. There we go. So that's cute. So I have to do 6 of these, but this only took a few hours, so that should not take super long at all. And I've actually got a little bit of a start on the next one here. So that was cute. I started this in July for the Christmas in July stitch along. That's been going on for several years now. For Diana, it is Kismet's like half birthday, I guess you would call it. So I always like to try to make sure I get something in for that. Cute. The next project I have here is the Modern Folk Embroidery No Time Like the Present stitch along for 2024. This is what it looks like. I took inspiration from this mock-up right here, and I am stitching it in 2 colors of DMC, 370 and 3031. I'm using, excuse me, 1 strand of the 370 and 2 strands for coverage of the 3031. So I think that those colors are beautiful together. I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count platinum linen, and it lives in this little celestial bag that I've made. And I have only completed through May. I got through the May part, and then I needed a break, and I haven't picked it up since. There are a lot of hanging threads, but I did try to wrangle them for you. So this is how she's looking. She's beautiful. So I finished this May part right here. But I think now that I've had a little break, I'm ready to pick it back up again. I've got no ambitions for getting this done by the end of this year. I don't think that will happen. I've got a lot of plans for September, October, November, probably December. I'm going to talk about some of those plans in a little while. But if I can just keep plugging along at this, she'll get there. It is a lot of fun to stitch on. I really like that a lot. I know some people don't like stitching in those bands, but I don't know, I find it very satisfying. Okay. The next project I have here was a midsummer stitch finish, which was fun. I was like, please let me get this done. And I believe I showed this in my last video, and everybody did confirm to me that this is a summertime pattern. This is Nantucket Broom Ride by Not Forgotten Farm. And that is a witch riding a whale, which is wonderful. I love this. I stitched this on a piece of Ship's Manor fabric. I used to do their fabric of the month maybe in like 2018-ish, I'm not sure, but this was a November fabric of the month. It's a 28 count casual. It lived in my Janet Jabber bag, which if you've been with me for a while, you know this is like my very favorite, my always like my very special Halloween projects go in this bag because I love it so much. And here's my finish. I love her. She was so much fun. That whale was no joke. That whale is a lot of stitching. But look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. I love it. I've thought about going back and maybe doing a line of backstitch around the whale just to make it pop a little bit more, but you know, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. I'm not sure. But anyways, that was a lot of fun. I love Not Forgotten Farms patterns. So yeah, well done. All right, next stack. This next project is something that I had not pulled out in a long time. Not this year, definitely. And that is the From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy's monthly Quakers. Was it 2 years ago, I think, that I started this project? Maybe. But I was stitching like 3 monthly things at the time, and I just burnt myself out on it. So that's okay though. It felt good to get this out and to get a little more progress on it. I had hoped to finish this year, but we will see if I've got 2 more Quakers left in me. So this time I worked on the October Quaker. I am stitching all of these on a piece of 22 count Aida. It's like a dark cream. It might be like a lamb's wool. I'm not positive. And each of these charts call for 3 colors, and I am just picking any 3 colors from my stash. So these are the 3 that I pulled for October. I think these are all Silks for You. I used to be part of their Silk of the Month club, so I have quite a few of their silks. Those were fun colors to work with. And this project lives in this Maryland bag. It's hefty. Got a lot of stuff in here. Probably need to clean it out, honestly. But it lives in this Maryland bag, and here's where we are. So I've got January, February, and March. And then I need to cut off the top of this too. April, May, and June. July, August, and September. And then lastly, there's like some fuzz on here. My last one I've done is October. So let me pull this up a little bit. So here is October. One theme that I had throughout my stitching over the last month or so is that I have been just making a lot of errors. I find that when my headspace is poor, then my errors increase. I don't know if other people find that in their stitching, but yeah, so all of this down here is wrong, but that's okay. I fudged it the best I could. By the time I realized what had happened, I was not going to take it out, so I just made some stuff up and stitched it on there. So October's done, and I've just got November and December left, which is exciting. I have a finish in mind for this already. I got one of those vintage, I guess we'll call it, perpetual calendars, like a wooden one where you can, it's got like the tiles where you can change the numbers out on it, and I want to finish these as little like flats to attach to the top of it. So maybe having that will incentivize me to keep working on it. So that was a lot of fun, and I wanted to continue to work on Quakers, so I pulled out my Quaker Gardens by Hello from Liz Matthews. I started this last year, I believe. Yes, I think it was last year, ahead of my Arizona trip. So I love this. I love the blue. I'm going to, I believe, omit this bottom row right here. I'm stitching it on a piece of copper 32 count by Lakeside Linen, using 1 strand of this HDF silk in Mystery 101. It's a beautiful, beautiful blue. It lives in this bag here. And here's where we are. So I was working on this side over here. And yes, I know I don't have a whole lot of margin on this side, but you know, I'm my own framer, so that's okay. I wish the camera would pick up how like kind of bold this color is. It's so rich and pretty. But I worked on this section over here, and this section also has errors in it. Again, for headspace, this was a lunchtime stitch for me, but I fudged it the best I could, and we're just moving on. No worries, right? Okay, the next project I have is a new start. My friend Leah Noel and I are both 1984 babies, and we both have our 40th birthdays this year. And so we decided we would do a friendship birthday stitch along. So we had a lot of fun picking out a pattern to stitch together, and we are going to exchange part of it. So the pattern that we picked was Easter Goose, designed by Sub Rosa. It's like this. And so we are exchanging the egg side. We thought that the goose was a great nod to 1984. And so we decided to start this on the opening day of the Olympics this year, because while we were not quite born yet, we were cooking while the 1984 Olympics was happening. And that was the same weekend that we were painting the kitchen. And chatting back and forth with Leah Noel was a great break from a hot and stressful project. So we got this started. I am stitching mine on a piece of 32 count Balmoral by Color and Cotton. It was a Fabric of the Month. And I picked my own colors for this. For the white, I'm using Sulky, and here are the other colors that I chose from my stash. It only calls to have the flowers in one color, but I wanted multicolors. I pulled all these out because I was going to pick one. I decided I want all of them. So it lives in this cute little bag here. And here's where I am. So I'm working on my goose. So the section for Leah Noel is going to go on this side of the fabric, and so I didn't want to start with her side and then put my stitches under the Q-snap. Well, I don't care if my own stitches get squished. I care about the stitches I'm giving to a friend, of course. So as you can see, I'm just working my way through that goose. I think this might be my lunchtime stitch this week. This is fun. It's fun to use like kind of pastel-y colors because I don't typically use those on this pretty light gray. I really love how this is coming out, and I love that we're stitching this together, and I'm so excited about it. I can't wait for us to swap. She picked an amazing color fabric, and I think this is going to look really cool when it's done. So here's my goose. The next project that I have here, I never really know how to talk about this project. So I am a member of several Patreons, but I've been a member of Beast or God's Patreon since 2021, I think. And I'm finally getting my act together to stitch some of his patterns. So I've been kind of doing like once a month. They're small. They're all stitched, I believe, on 18 count Oatmeal Aida, which I love to stitch on using DMC, and I've just been working my way through all the patterns. So I finished up this one in, I can't remember if I finished this in, I think I finished this in July. And the next one that I think maybe this is September of 2020 was this pattern. But I'm almost to some of the Halloween patterns, which makes me really excited. So there's that, another little finish. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with all of these little finishes. Some of them I know I want to frame. I've got 2 frames upstairs that I can do 2 of them in, but I gotta think about what I'd like to do with these. So that's cute. They live in this bag that I made. I think this was the first project bag I ever made, and I got a giant hunk of the Ada in there, and then I just throw whatever DMCs or other colors I'm using in. So, okay, next pile. All right, on August the 1st, I joined in with another stitch along. This one is the Ruth 1850 Sal, which is hosted by Milka of Mega Stitches and Emily of Eclectic Possessions. And this is designed by Queenstown Sampler. This is Ruth. She is beautiful. And she was so much fun to stitch. When you see what I've done on the fabric, it's like almost laughable because it looks like such a tiny amount when there's so much here. But really, she did kind of stitch up quickly. So I'm stitching her in all of the called for DMC on a piece of 36 count limited edition fabric from Color and Cotton. I believe I won it at a raffle at the New Jersey retreat. And I believe it's perfect for this. And I started right in the center. So I believe Emily started up here, and Luca I think started down here maybe. So we all started in different places, and yeah, this was super fun. So something else that happened with this pattern is this calls for a lot of DMC. I don't have the actual pattern over here. This calls for a lot of DMC, which I'll show you here. Like, that's a lot of DMC. Look at some of these colors. They're like, those blues, so pretty. And Aaron is typically my bobbinator, and it was getting close to the time for the stitch along to start, and he didn't have time to like sit down and deal with all the floss, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put it on floss tags. And I think I only have one other project that I've done, like set up on floss tags, like this with the DMC. And I don't know, there was something so satisfying about working with this. It was so easy. My bobbins get messy and overwhelming sometimes, or like if Aaron doesn't have time to bobbinate for me, I'll just like throw full skeins in projects, and it's a lot. I'm a lot sometimes. But this was so nice that I think I've decided to transition all of my DMC onto floss cards. And by think, I mean that's what I'm doing. So as I'm pulling out projects to work on them, old projects, I'm switching them to this system. I have a punch that makes the cards, but then I ended up actually buying some on Amazon just to make the process go a little faster. I have a big chalkboard in my stitching room that I don't use at all, so we're going to take that out, and Aaron's going to install a pegboard type system for me so that I can hang all these up. And I'm just really, my DMC storage has been a huge area of stress for me in my stitching life. So now I'm glad I just kind of committed to something, and I'm going for it, and I'm really excited. So anyways, long story long, these are the DMCs that are used for Ruth. I'm keeping her in this little bag that I made, and I finished 1/2 of a page on her. Oh, she was upside down. And that's that. That is 1/2 of a page on Ruth. So let me fold this up a little bit and bring her in. So that is the center right there. There's her kitten and her bowl of milk. And she was so much fun. So much fun. I did not want to put her down. This really like ignited my stitching bug for sure. So I'm excited to get back to her. I am using 2 strands on 36 count, which is my preferred, and I really like the way, like the texture it's giving this. This was a piece of Berlin wool work, I think. Does it say? It doesn't say it on the front, but I feel like that might be right. And just look how pretty that is. It's just obsessed for sure. I love it. And she's going to take up a good chunk of this fabric. My margins top to bottom are questionable at best. But again, I'm my own framer, so that's my own problem. All right, the next project I worked on, or have here to show you, is one of my favorite projects, and it's another Not Forgotten Farm. This is Halloween Barnyard. Again, a witch riding an animal. In this one, she's riding a donkey, and if you've been with me for a while, you know I love donkeys. This I am stitching on a piece of, what, 36 count. This was a Fortnite fabric. It was called Phoenix Rising, and I've been using the code 4 DMCs. As I've taken them off of bobbins, they are a little bit messy, but they are kind of relaxing as they are settling down. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's fine. Anyways, called for DMC, and my other favorite bag. This is also from Olivia at Hillside Rookery. She was making bags for a while, and this is like my precious. I love this so much. It's like the perfect amount of squish. It's just so beautifully done. She's so talented. I love this. And it's a little bit of a mess, but here's what I got. So I added in, what? I believe all of this down here. I added in the moon. I added in the rooster. I added the dog, which I did my best to try to make it look like Cora, but there was just, Cora's got a lot of colors in her face, and there just wasn't enough stitches to fully get this dog there, but I did try. I did the pumpkin. I think I added in October. I did more grass, and then I think I added this too, maybe. And I did the front half of the donkey. I don't know why this donkey took me like 10,000 times to stitch. I just could not make it. I could not do it. I could not do it. But it's in there now. So all I have left is the witch and the rest of the donkey and some little bit up top. And if I pull this back out in October, I believe it'll be a finish. Love that. The next project I have is another Not Forgotten Farm. I guess I was in a Not Forgotten Farm mood. I'm always in a Not Forgotten Farm mood. But this next project is Folk House. Looks like this. This one surprised me. I started this, I think, 2 years ago for my birthday. And I had not gotten very far on it. I had like the outline of the house done, but I hadn't really gotten to like the meat of the house. And even though like you see the colors that you're working with, right? Like you see the colors here, you know what they are, but like it was brighter when I was stitching it. It turned out to be brighter than I thought, and I am so in love with it right now. I'm stitching this on a piece of extra design fabric in sampler khaki in a 32 count that lives in this little Maryland bag that I have here, and here's where I got to. So I finished the roof, I added in the other flower, I finished the chimneys, I did the scissors, and I started working on this woman and her dress. Over here are 2 cats, and I am going to change the cats to make them look like my old cats, Bud and Herbie, because they were my home. I had, I think, this chair done, but I finished this. I did this whole pot here, and I think I had to finish the bunting on these too. You'll have seen a picture of where it was. So I got a lot of work done on this, and I think I would like to keep it out and keep working on it. This is another project I'd like to have in my kitchen. I don't know if you can see how bright that yellow is. That's like the color of the walls in my kitchen. It's like almost exactly perfect. So this will hang in there when it's all done. Love, love, love. So much fun. So much fun to stitch. I did a little bit of work on another stitch along that I am slowly picking away at, and that is the Book of Fungi Sale by Living on the Rainbow. Put a cover picture in here. I don't know why this is so slow going for me. I'm trying to alleviate that. I printed out the rest of the patterns that I needed to. Like I said, I'm switching over my DMC from the bobbins to the floss tags. It calls for a lot of DMC. It lives in this cute little Jackalope Jane bag here. And the whole project itself is living in this bag. I bought the kit, well, this like a limited kit from this person on Etsy. She sold the kits for it. It had the fabric and the embellishments. Oh, here it is. Lady Revenja. It's this little kit here. And I worked on another page. So this is on 36 count vintage country mocha, I believe. So I can't remember if I was done with the stinkhorn or not last time. I don't think I was. So I finished that and then I stitched this page next. I think maybe that's another kind of hang up I have about this, is that there's a couple of like choose your own adventure pages, which is great. So it's like you could do this page or you could do that page or whatever, and I want all of them. So I guess maybe I need to figure out how to make that all fit. But there it is. That'll be a fun project. I don't know. I gotta get through whatever's going on in my head. All right, next up I have a new start. When I attended the Midsummer Stitch, I went to the Hathaway Stitchers, like Stitch Room. I think that was on Saturday night, maybe. It doesn't matter. And I had subscribed to them, but had never like actually gone and watched any of their videos. And after that, seeing them in that stitch room, that was so much fun, and they were so funny that I went back and I like binged their videos. And I think that they are amazing, and I don't know, something about their dynamic reminds me of me and my sisters, and I just really am enjoying them. So one of the projects that I saw on their channel is being stitched by Amity, and that is an Owl Forest embroidery pattern called Forest Houses Raccoons. This is not a great printout, but this is basically what it is. It's raccoons doing laundry. And this is another project that I would like for my kitchen. I have a spot, my washer and my dryer are in my kitchen, and I have a spot on the wall above the washer where this will hang. I already know where it's going to go. This is absolutely adorable, but I didn't realize until I bought it that this is like a little duck butt. Look how funny that is. That's so... That just cracked me up. I don't know. So anyways, obviously this is stitched in Owl Forest flosses, which are highly variegated, and I do not have. So I went through my stash and I picked out some flosses. These are most of the colors. If you had asked me, Megan, do you have a ton of super highly variegated threads that could mimic these Owl Forest threads? Would I have said, yes, absolutely, I can go pull them for you right now? In reality, no, I did not have threads nearly that variegated. But that's okay, I'm really liking how this is turning out. I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count corn husk by Color and Cotton. It was a fabric of the month. And it's living in this doggy bag that I made. Man, everything. Quentin's cat sheds more than any animal I've ever had in my life. So everything I have is like extra covered in hair. Anyways, this is the doggy bag that I have. And the first time I started it, I actually started it on this piece of 38 count fabric, and I got to here and it just wasn't popping enough for me. I really wanted this to be like bright and fun and vibrant, and this was not that. So I got that far and I scrapped it and I restarted it on the corn husk, and here's where I'm at. So I am almost done with the first page, and I know that the light is washing it out, but it is super fun. I'm just really enjoying it. It's just fun to work on, and I can't wait to have it done. So this is like right here where his little paws are. Oh my gosh, it's the end of the first page, so it's coming along great. Keeping that by my stitchy spot too, because I do want to keep going on that. Next project I have worked on is one that I started last year, and this is Weatherwise by the Prairie Schooler. This poor pattern has seen better days. When I first had it kitted up, it was sitting in a little basket in my stitching room upstairs, and Cora kept sitting on it, so it was all crumpled, and it's just getting worse and worse, but that's okay. Bring this top one up here. I was just talking to the ladies in my stitch group today about how much fun Prairie Schoolers are to stitch. They're such a joy, such comfort stitching. I am stitching this in mostly the called for DMCs. I did make one change. The house on the front here was called to be stitched in 400, and that just did not look like that to me. So I didn't want to do that, so I changed it to an overdye that I have. So all the pretty DMCs. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count driftwood by Color and Cotton, and it lives in another Maryland bag that I made. And here's where I got. So when I worked on it this time, I finished filling in the clouds. I worked on the border. I stitched the moon and the little stars. I added in the words and the water. And it's just, I don't know, Prairie Schooler is just so pretty and classy, and it's just a joy. So this was great after stressful days at work. Last week we did our big training session for about 700 employees, and it was a lot. So coming home to some comfort stitching was great. The next piece that I worked on, I also worked on this last week. Like I said, we had a little bit of false fall weather, and so I needed to bring out something fall related to stitch on, and I pulled out Autumn Song by Blackbird Designs. Looks like this. And you can't see that from the front, but there's also, so it's finished on like a box, and there's also an alphabet band and this little needle book as well. I am stitching this on a piece of 28 count, which is recommended, Country French Spring Meadow Green linen. I don't know, I think I got it off of like a stash unloading thing using the called for, it's just a mess, called for flosses, and it lives in this squirrel bag. And I didn't get too much done on this because this was just for lunchtime stitching. So it didn't get a whole lot of love, but it got some, and here's where I got to. So I did this leaf, and this leaf, I think, is what I added in. Sometimes these leaves are a little tricky for me to stitch. Like, it's hard, I can't always find like my stitch path with these leaves very easily. That's okay. There's only a couple more of them left, and this top part will be done. But all of the pieces will fit on this. They tell you in the booklet how to figure that out. All right, one more. I told you I'm lying. 2 more. I'm working on a lot of stuff. My next project, I'm gonna have to insert a picture of the cover photo of, and this is Painted Wings by Kathy Barrick. I'm stitching this with my friend Anne. I'm stitching it on a piece of 40 count Tuscan by Color and Cotton. Again, using the MPI Silk Pack from Hillside Rookery. The colors are beautiful. Really pretty. It's living in this mushroom bag. And when I worked on this last time, I was having a little bit of trouble. I don't always work on 40 count, so sometimes it's hard for me to like adjust to it, and I had made a mistake and I ended up having to frog, and I was mad at it. Also, I bought the PDF. Is that right? I bought the PDF from Kathy Barrick's Etsy shop, and when I printed it, it was very, very small and it was hard to read. So when I pulled it out this year, I put it into GoodNotes, and that has definitely made it easier. Stitching from my phone is not my preferred method, but it has definitely made it possible that I can actually stitch this project now. And as you will see, I got a good amount done. So I had not finished this alphabet, or this whole line right here. Excuse me. So I finished that line, and then I started outlining the butterflies in black. And this is fun. So I think that's going to be kind of how I tackled this project, is I'm going to go through and I'm going to outline all of them. So there's another row of 4 here, another row of 4 here, and then down at the bottom there is a border and the rest of the letters of the alphabet. So this is almost the bottom of the piece. But I think I might like to go and do all of the black outlining first, and then maybe color complete. I do like stitching that way. We'll see when I pull it back out. But that was, I'm really glad to have had some progress on that. I'm really, really glad. Okay, and now this is actually my last project, and this is one that I actually started today. So, like I mentioned earlier, as I set up my Flosstube the night before, I almost always do that. It takes me a long time to get everything ironed and situated in the way that I want to talk about it. And in my mind, yesterday Megan was like, oh, maybe you'll get up early and you can do your Flosstube prior to going to your stitch group. But reality, there was no friggin' way that was happening. There's no way. This takes too long. So I needed something that I could start quickly and easily, and with little muss and fuss. And so the project that I chose to bring with me today and to start was by Arth Design. It's part of her Chesapeake Bay Treasures series. This is number 3, Island Ponies. And I got this as a kit from Amanda May. I have stitched the Tundra Swans, the Heron, and the Crab. They're over there on my Chesapeake Bay wall. And so I'm excited to work on this one and get this added in. After this, I have one more, and it's a seahorse. So this was sold at the time as a kit. So it came with the silk, the fabric, the finishing accoutrement. I put it in this bag that I made. And here's how far I got today. So that's not too shabby of a start. This is, I think, an 18 count Aida. You just use 1 strand. She hand dyed this fabric. And I got, this is the tail of the horse. And this is one of the front legs, but 3 hours stitching and talking. Pretty good, I think. So I worked on that. All right, maybe we could talk about a little bit of my plans. So September is right around the corner, and that means Sampler September. I am not going to do a back to school start this year, because in November for my birthday, I think I'm going to start 4 big projects. So September, my plan is to pull out any reproduction samplers I haven't already worked on yet this year and see if I can get some stitches into all of them. There's like 4 or 5 maybe that I haven't gotten to yet. I've been really called to work on Mary Claire Carroll. The Carroll House? I can't remember. I'll put the website below. But they redid their website and now there's a picture on there of Mary and of her original sampler. In fact, I'll put a picture of the original sampler in here. I've been just thinking about it ever since I saw that. It makes me wish that maybe I had chosen a darker fabric, but that's okay. So September, my plans will be to work on my reproduction samplers. And then in October, it's my favorite stitching month of the year. For dark October stitching, I pick usually 5 projects to start, or works in progress to work on, 5 or 6, and I give those some love, and then I pull out as many smalls as I can and I just stitch on the smalls and I try to finish as many as possibly can. So I need to get my plans together for that. I can't wait, so hopefully by the time I film next I'll have that all situated and I can show you what my plans are for October. And then November, so in November I turn 40 and I'm going to start 4 large projects. One is a sampler that also has a donkey on it. I don't have it down here to show you, but I will next time, probably. I'm thinking Shores of Hawthorne Hollow, I'm thinking Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain, and I'm kind of waffling on what my 4th big start will be. But I'm going to do it probably something similar to like how I do October, is work on each of them for a set amount of days. And then at lunch or in the evenings or whenever, I'll throw in some fall stitching to go along with that. And then, yeah, and then it'll be December. And that'll be the end of the year. That's crazy. All right, so that's a rough idea of what my plans are. Also, I do think in my next video I'm going to pull out some of my antique and vintage stitching that I've collected and share that with all of you as well. So something to look forward to, I hope. Okay, I'm going to reset real quick and pull over the things that I have purchased since I saw you last, and I'll be right back. Okay, so first up I have my Fabric of the Month Club from Color & Cotton. This was August, and this is a 36 count in Graveyard Mist. Pretty washed out, but it's like a light blue gray. I am going to sign up for another, or I have signed up for another Fabric of the Month Club. I can't remember if I said this last time. Through my LNS Needlecraft Corner, they're doing a Blackbird Fabric of the Month Club. They partnered with Picture This Plus to do fabrics that Blackbird calls for in their patterns as the Fabric of the Month, so that should be cool. Alright, first up I've got what I purchased at Stitches Unlimited in Lancaster. I got some ballpoint needles because those are my favorite. And I also got from Needlework Press, Emma McCarty, 1849. That's beautiful. This is on perforated paper. This is small, I think. Yeah, 126 by 97, so pretty small. Also by Needlework Press, I got George Bierce Toby. So these were samplers stitched by little boys, or a little boy. Looks like from Texas. So that's. And then I got a piece of fabric there as well. This is my first piece of fiber on a whim. This is 36 count parchment. And it's very, very pretty. I really like that a lot. So I'm excited to stitch on that. I know a lot of people like fiber on a whim, so I'm excited to try that out. And then we went over to Hodgepodge in Stroudsburg, and there I picked up this little oval frame for finishing. Or hoop, not frame. I've been talking for a while. I got some fabric there too. I've also never tried any Grace Notes fabric, so I got this piece of 36 count Poison Apple, which is very vibrant in person. beautiful. A piece of 40 count Bradley. A piece of 36 count pumpkin pie. That's beautiful. I like that. And then a piece of 40 count Paris. And so to go with this piece of fabric, I also picked up Stacy Nash Primitives Let Love Grow Pin Keep, which looks like this. So this fabric is a little bit lighter, but I think it's going to give the same energy. Her pin keeps are always like deceptively big. It's 183 wide by 96 high. So that'd be pretty. I picked up this Pineberry Lane pattern called Autumn Blessings. When we were at Stitches Unlimited, my friend Heather pointed out to me a bunting that they had that had little pillows on it, and then I saw this pattern at Hodgepodge and I was like, oh, well obviously I need to make this little pillow bunting. Duh. You can't go to Hodgepodge without getting a pattern by my friend Ethel, who is Stitches by Ethel. So I picked up Vintage Bird. I love this. It's so pretty. Ethel is so talented. My friend Anne, so Hodgepodge in the back of their store has like bins of sale patterns of like a lot of older patterns, things you might not come across regularly. And she found, so my friend Anne was back there digging through all those because that's like one of the best parts of going there. And she was doing some shopping for me. So she pulled out this Of Female Worth or Cornelli needle case. This is a little kit, little punched paper kit to make a little needle case. It's got everything you need for it right in there. That's pretty cool. And then she also found, she's so good to me, these two Garfield books. Garfield on the Job. These are hilarious. Look at him. He's very busy and important. And also Garfield, not just for kids. I don't know why that's more adult than anything, but I like him with the rainbows. Cute. And then last thing that I picked up there was this Designs by Gloria and Pat All Along the Countryside. It's like Crocs with dried flowers. And I don't know, I really dig that a lot. There's also some like kind of country scenes on the back. So I liked that. On eBay, so that's everything I got on my field trip. On eBay, I've had a saved search on eBay for, it feels like years. I can't say exactly how long it's been, but a long time, for one of my unicorn charts. And it popped up, and it popped up and I bid on it and I won. And it was only $12, and that feels amazing to me. So this is a Plum Street Samplers chart from the Exemplary Collection. This is Emma Nettles 1636. I have long coveted this chart, and I am so excited to have it in my collection. I do believe this will be one of my October starts for sure. I can't wait. Cannot wait. From Stash Unloading, there is a lovely woman, Melanie Henson, and she does bags on there. If you see me with a vinyl front bag, it's and it's well made, then it's almost always from her. If it's not well made, then it's probably from me. So she had a couple bags. Well, more than a couple. She had some really cute bags. She had this one, these little kids, and then this one. I wanted some little ones for my Halloween smalls. And then I saw that she had a page on there that was like other sizes and things that she could make, and she makes grime guards. And I believe I've mentioned before that I would like to learn how to make grime guards, but if I can get her to make grime guards, then I don't have to do that. and this is, so I had her make one for my 11 by 17 Q-snap, which is my preferred Q-snap, and I don't know if you can tell, it's little witches and bats. So I love that. The next thing that I purchased was something that I was directly enabled on. Wendy, who is a Stitch in the Matrix, she's a relatively new Flosstuber. I think she's got 3 videos out. I've watched 2. But I think she has a 3rd one that I need to catch up on. I'm behind on my Flosstube because I've been rewatching X-Files and Gilmore Girls. So I'm behind on Flosstube. And so Wendy is lovely and she is hilarious and she cracks me up and she cracks herself up and she's got gorgeous projects, and I am not always very good about commenting on Flosstubes, but I've been trying to be a little bit better. And poor Wendy, I want to literally say something about everything that she shows, so I always have to like edit myself back because I don't want to be weird. I don't know. Anyways, in her first video, I think this is even in like the screen grab or whatever, she shows this book, which is The Evil Dead 2 Book of the Thread, a cross-stitch craft book by Rebecca Martz Burley. And Erin and I are both huge Evil Dead fans. This is Evil Dead 2. And it's got a lot of really cool patterns in it, and I showed Erin and he wants me to literally stitch every single thing that's in here. So I found this on her eBay site. She's got an Etsy site and an eBay site, and so I ordered it directly from her, and it also came with this pin. I guess Demon Monkey Craft must be her business. But it also came with this pin, which I would like to turn into a needle minder. I don't know if that'll focus. I'm not sure why it will. Anyways, thank you for that, Wendy. The next purchase I have here was a book that I had pre-ordered. This is A Magical Cross Stitch by Lindsay Swearingen. It's Tusk and Cardinal. And this came this week, I believe. And I am obsessed with everything in here. I love every single one of these. Every pattern in here is better than the next, and I'm super excited about that. So maybe something out of here will be in my Halloween plans too. I'm sure people will be doing flip throughs, but like, look at that. Beautiful. Let's see. Next, some of the shops that I like to frequent have had some sales, and so I felt the need to take advantage of those sales, as one does. First up, I placed an order with Sandra's Stitch Stash. She was having like a 60% off clearance sale. So I got this pattern by Roger W. Renardi. This is an older pattern. Silesia Arts leaflet. I have stitched one of his patterns before and I loved it. And I really liked that winter scene. I also really liked these birds. They had a lot of You and I and Friends available in the clearance section, so I got small sampler number 1, small sampler number 6, small sampler number 10. These were all like $2 to $3. Petite exemplary number 3. I got Slim Jack, which I don't know if I already have or not. I'm gonna have to check. I got Rosebud, Room for You, which I don't know why that just cracked me up, that sheep on that chair, and Mr. Deer. I also got this Cross My Heart Ink C is for Cat booklet, specifically for this wizard cat, which I thought was amazing. Another cat pattern I got was this Perman of Copenhagen. I guess it's just called Black Cats. Reminds me of Dingus. Sweet Dingus Kitty, who's a black cat. And then I got this Birds of a Feather chart, which is called Words. I got it for this down here at the bottom that says Practice Patience. I think I'm going to stitch that and take it to work. Alright, Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche had a sale as well, and I picked up a couple things from her. This is the Little MB 1834 sampler from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. I'll make a beautiful blue sampler. From Blue Flower, I got Magpie and the Moon. I wanted that for a long time, and don't know why I hadn't picked it up before, but I got this Prairie Schooler chart. Heads up, this is a cardstock chart. I like several of these. From Needlework Press, I got Anne Kirby 1845, which is really, really cool. I also, by Needlework Press, I got a duo of Sweet Verses. And also by Needlework Press, Chloe Smith. I think that one's really cool. Let's see here. I saw, I think it was on Instagram, Liz Matthews posted about starting this Mill Hill kit, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I have to have that. So I hunted that down. This is Sun and Moon. And I got this from Stony Creek. And I swear, like, I placed the order and it was here in a day and a half. I don't understand how in the world they got it here so fast, but it was like amazingly fast. I love that so much. We're almost done here. From Kitten Stitcher. She had a Blackbird sale and I picked up 2 books. I got Honeysuckle Manor, which has got some beautiful projects in it. And I also got Lala. How I did not have this already, I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I never actually stitched from my Blackbird books. I probably should remedy that. And the last 2 things I got were from, I think, just like a stash unloading. I got this Thistles Needle Friends. Little smalls. Really, oops. Like this lady with her dog. That's really why I got it. That's pretty too. I really like that one. And then from Hello from Liz Matthews, a Pleasant Sampler. Okay, I think that's everything. That was a lot. So if you hung in there with me, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody has a great September, whether you stitch samplers or not. Yeah, that's it. Love you guys. Bye.